Hi, friends. I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.
We are here today presenting you a little movie podcast starring Zach and Mitch.
Wait. Are we doing a little movie podcast?
So we're talking about movies today, but there was something that happened this past weekend.
Like movie adjacent?
Movie adjacent.
Movie adjacent.
And for a company that we know and love.
And work for.
And
spill blood for.
Probably
cried for a bunch of times.
And we sweat a lot.
Yeah, that we have.
We're talking about D23 that happened this past weekend.
Yes, the D23 Expo of 2022 just happened this weekend. And that being said, as you did mention, we are Disney World cast members, so we do not speak for the brand or the company, but we do want to voice our opinions and what we thought about our most recent return of D23, because of our friend the Panini, the last D23 Expo actually happened in 2019. So it's been 3 years since the last D23, which is normally a biannual thing. It usually happens every other year. So it should have happened in 2021.
And then it would have happened in 2023. So I'm curious to know if they're going to do... So this happened in 2022. Is the next one going to be 2024 or 2025?
Yeah,
or something like that? Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. But also, so there's a little bit of what is D23. So we'll go ahead and let you guys kind of know exactly what D23 is. The exact D23 actually refers to Disney's club. It's not exclusive. You don't have to pay really anything to be a part of D23 for like lower stuff. Yeah. But if you want like member exclusive discounts, it's like your like best way I can describe it. It's like a membership, a free membership if you want, but if you want like benefits and whatnot, there is a paywall that you will have to pay yearly, and it's like I believe like it's hefty, but it normally does get you like a magazine every month, and you get discounts and events like exclusive events. Like I always know I knew about a couple of D23 events. Like they did an extremely a Goofy movie anniversary film screening, which was a whole lot of fun, and the original voice of Goofy was playing around there.
Bill Farmer, yeah.
Yep. So
basically, in layman's terms, it's Disney's own Comic-Con.
Basically, yeah. So they basically put on their own convention.
Yeah, they talk about the parks, they talk about Marvel films, they actually talk about the Marvel and Disney games for the first time. Which, that's big. They talk about LucasFilm, they talk about animation, Pixar, live action stuff. I mentioned parks, talk about some cruises and other things that we have something special to tell you.
We're not breaking ground just yet on that. We're setting sail.
I'm telling them to sit there. Please
don't leave. Keep your hands and arms and feet inside the compartment at all times.
So the reason why I mention that is just stay for something later.
Yeah, stay strapped in. We got you.
Yeah.
Don't go to the lifeboats just yet. So how we're going to split up this episode, since this is a little bit unconventional, we could split it up in the days that things were announced. We could split it up into multiple different ways, but what we ended up deciding on is just kind of breaking it up into aspects of the giant Disney company.
And kind of how they announced their stuff.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and start with our first overall thoughts of what we thought of D23 and how how this expo went this year. And then we'll go ahead and get into the Walt Disney Studios live action and animation, as well as Pixar. We're going to kind of group that all into one category, since it's a bunch of like smaller things, all put together.
Announcements. Yeah.
And then we'll talk about Lucasfilm, everything that they're doing, all the great work that they're doing over there.
And then we're going to mention Marvel Studios and everything that's been going on over there. And we also are going to mention some of the Comic-Con announcements too. We wanted to talk about that a little bit.
We're going to go ahead and talk about how Phase 5 and Phase 6 was talked about at Comic-Con.
Wait a minute. We're still in Phase 4.
We are. Just a little bit longer, though. Black Panther, right, is the end of it?
Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
There we go, and we cannot wait for it. But after that, we're also going to then make our small little channel announcement that we're excited to talk about. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get into a very hefty slice of Disney parks news.
Yeah, that's quite the cake. It's almost kind of like have your cake and eat your cake and ice cream at the same time.
Yep. But don't worry, we are gonna strap in and we're gonna have a whole lot of fun. So join us. So we'll go ahead and start. Mitch, what are your first thoughts on this year's D23 Expo?
So I love D23. I've never been myself. We were hoping to go this year, but some things fell through.
Yep.
But maybe next time.
So
it's on my bucket list that I want to go. I want to see the Disney legends be inducted into their legacy. A lot of good people got. Like Ellen Pompeo from
Josh Gad.
Mm-hmm. The original cast of Frozen.
Yeah.
And bravo everyone! You all
Congrats.
deserve it. Yeah. Congratulations on being Disney legends.
Round of applause.
Yay! But every single time D23 happens, I feel like something massive is coming.
Yep.
Like everyone says like, oh, Comic-Con. And I'm like, fuck that. I want to hear about D23.
I feel like for nerddom it's Comic-Con, it's San Diego Comic-Con.
Sure.
And / New York Comic-Con.
Sure.
For movies it's usually CinemaCon.
Sure.
And then for
Disney
it's D23.
Yeah. Well, and I was curious to know what Disney was going to do because the parks were hit hard with the Panini.
Yep.
They're starting to get back into the swing of things.
Yep.
Thankfully. And I was really curious to know what Disney was going to announce, what they were going to talk about, what they were going to do. They have a new CEO. They have a new head of the parks division, Josh D'Amaro. We love you, man. But I have to say, for it being the first D23 in 3 years, they did very, very well.
Right.
Now, I was hoping for a little bit more, some other things. Some things didn't get announced that I wanted to get announced.
Sure.
Some casts weren't announced that I was hoping to get announced.
Okay.
I was hoping to see a Merc with a mouth, but sadly he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Damn you, Ryan Reynolds. I know you're out there. I know you're listening.
Sexiest man alive.
We know. No, that's Paul Rudd.
You're right. Second sexiest man alive.
No, that's Jonathan Majors.
Nah.
Kang.
Nah. Well, yeah,
that's
he's
what
up
Kevin
there.
said. Yeah,
he's up there. He's definitely up there.
But yeah, now is it their best D23? Absolutely not. The best one that I remember them doing was either 2015 or 2017 when they. There's 2017 when they released some Infinity War footage.
Yep.
And they say they about blew the ceiling off that place.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, I got to give them a very solid grade.
Okay.
And I'm really hoping that they take this and they're like, okay, so we can show that we can do this convention again.
Yep.
Now, what can we do next time?
Yeah.
But Zach.
Yes.
What'd you think?
So, like you, I always look forward to D23, and not only as a Disney cast member to see what's coming up, not only in the parks, but as well as movies and things and everything.
Yeah.
Always excited to see what D23 has to offer. Mm-hmm. And as you said, we now have a CEO in his second term, so he's now kind of taken the company as his own, especially after being handed it was handed off to him at a very terrible time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's a very near impossible situation.
No matter, even if it was Bob Iger, he definitely would have made mistakes too.
For sure.
As a seasoned person trying to navigate through the Panini.
Yeah. Damn you, Panini.
But so we have that. We also, in terms of like the Orlando area, we have Universal breathing down Walt Disney World's back with Epic Universe on its heels. So it's so we've got that. So a lot of Disney Parks people are looking at what's going to be the answer. How is Disney going to answer? And then we also just have like, what's Disney Plus going to look like? Because it's continuing to evolve and grow. So there's a whole lot to look forward for D23. So I went into it trying to manage my expectations, trying to, see what was going to play out. Did I have hopes and dreams? Yes. Were some of them lifted? Yes. Were some of them crushed? Absolutely. But overall, my thoughts of D23, meh.
Okay.
there was some great announcements, but it was a lot of, okay, this is announced.
Maybe
coming later.
Yeah.
When? But later.
I think the reason why they were doing that is because, you know, when it comes to the parks, they have a lot of stuff coming, and a lot of stuff was put on hold.
Yep, I agree.
So because I remember, you know,
we had Mary Poppins. We had the Spaceship Earth coming, but that was
So I feel like Disney they kind of learned from their mistakes a little bit.
That's fair.
Because, you know, let's just say some of the announcements that were made, and they did have a release date, and we get another like updated Panini.
Yep.
Then all hell would break loose.
Yeah.
And they'd have to update their websites and everything. I mean, their
website would just be, we're broke, send money, please.
Yeah. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But at the same time, looking at it from Disney's perspective, let's just say we announce, I don't know, some big attraction or a new land or a new park, and it's coming in 2027.
Yeah.
But we get hit with
another,
with something big, like something horrible happens, like somebody gets
like a pandemic or a war or something. Yeah.
And Disney's like, and then here comes fans like, oh, it's coming. Why haven't you started this yet? What happened? And Disney's like, sorry. So I think it's just they just learn from their mistakes.
I get what you're saying. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move into our topic. So like we said, the first one we're going to go ahead and hit is going to be the Walt Disney Studios and Animation Studios and Pixar. So we're going to hit all three kind of at once.
Yep.
One of the big things that came out of Walt Disney Animation, it was probably their like tentpole announcement, was a new original IP called Wish, a movie that will be coming out in November of 2023, and it's focusing on wishing on a star.
Yeah, it's basically the star that Geppetto wished upon for Pinocchio. Pretty much anybody that ever wishes upon it. Like, this is the star.
This is the Disney star.
Yeah, where did it come from? How did it materialize?
Which sounds so interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited
so different.
For it. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
There's talk that it may be traditional animated.
Yes, and which if that is the case,
oh baby,
I cannot wait to have a traditionally animated Walt Disney Studios film grace the silver screen again.
Because the last one of those was Princess and the Frog. So that's almost 15 years.
Yep.
That's a long time. And so not much has been told about it. I know, who's the girl from West Side Story? Ariana DeBose.
Yeah, Ariana DeBose is playing the lead.
Which, Chef's kiss.
Perfect.
But yeah, nothing much has been said about Wish, but we are very excited. It could be on our top 10.
Oh, it's 100%. I can even tell you right now it's going to be on my top 10.
I might be on my top 10 too.
All right.
Spoiler, we're going to have another top 10 here pretty soon.
Oh my gosh, and water's wet as it's raining outside right now.
And the bear shits in the woods.
But anyway, so that was it for Wish.
Yeah.
The next big thing that came out is coming from
Pixar.
Inside Out is getting a sequel.
But we don't have a release date.
But Amy Poehler is coming back as Joy. So
we don't know a lot about Inside Out 2. I know a lot of people are on the fence of it. I'll go see it.
I'm excited for it. I'm not going to lie. The potential of this movie is huge. This will be another one that will be on my top 10 for whatever year that it comes out on.
Right.
Because for me, the idea of going into Riley's head later in her life, no matter where, whether she's in high school, if she's in college, dare I say if they even go so far to make it when she's an adult, like that will wreck me hard. And if Bing Bong comes back, tears. But that I'm very, very much excited for.
But now we're going to talk about one more Pixar film
that's coming out a little bit sooner than that.
Summer 2023. Elemental.
Woohoo!
What is it?
Well,
We don't know.
Again, we don't know. We just got basically concept art. It's about a
male water
and a female fire.
I mean, opposites attract.
Yeah, they do, but it's Pixar.
Yeah.
I'm always down to see a Pixar movie, and it's an original IP, so I'm happy again that they're moving. Even though Inside Out 2 has me going and I'm hyped for it, I'm happy that they are continuing to put more original IP. And let's hope that Inside Out and Elemental don't just go straight to Disney Plus.
I don't think they will, but you know what movie will not be going straight to Disney Plus?
Oh, I know for sure.
So
we're going to move into the studios aspect of Walt Disney.
The Little Mermaid in May of 2023. They showed the trailer. I am so excited.
Oh,
is it Halle Berry?
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Or Halle Berry. I think you're right. Halle Berry. Halle Berry looks amazing.
And she sounds amazing as Ariel.
Oh my gosh. It's so perfect when you listen to the trailer. It sounds so familiar, yet so different. She added all the perfect ways.
She added a little bit of R&B
riffing, but that's okay.
No, it's something new. It's
making
exciting.
It her own. And that's the biggest thing. I feel like if you make it your own for a Disney live action adaptation, that's where you're going to succeed. Like, it's similar to how like Will Smith did the Genie. If he would have tried to just recreate Robin Williams, it would have fell flat. But he made it his own, which is why that version of the Genie still did really, really wonderfully and well, in my opinion.
Well, I think I'm curious to see what Melissa McCarthy's going to do as Ursula, Javier Bardem as King Triton. Who's playing... what's his face?
Sebastian?
Not Sebastian. Prince Eric.
Prince Eric? Oh. Our friend from Don't Worry, Darling.
Harry Styles?
I think so. Oh, wait, no, never mind.
I don't know.
Shoot, I can't remember.
We'll look that up.
We can't wait. But anyway, so Little Mermaid, just May of 2023. We are excited for it.
Also, it was one thing that we didn't talk. One quick thing.
Oh, okay.
Peter Pan and Wendy.
Oh, Peter Pan and Wendy, the Disney Plus
in 2023. Just some a poster. I've been waiting for that for a while, so
that's gonna be fun.
But we're not gonna talk about that because one big thing that's coming in 2024.
Mufasa.
Why the hell are they making this goddamn movie?
Mufasa.
Why are they making it?
Don't you dare mention that name.
But I get it. They're trying to do a Godfather thing.
Yep, and to be honest, like Mufasa and Scar's story would be so cool to hear and see and tell.
Sure.
But why are you taking it in the aspect that is the most complained about of the quote-unquote live-action remake of Lion King, which is making it live-action? The biggest criticism of that film was that the lions cannot do much in the way of facial animation. It was impossible, and it just didn't translate well. So why, through a really wonderful story and character piece, are you going to have them be emotionless lions in the Unreal Engine? Just freaking animate it, man.
I'll still go see it, but
I'll still go see it. But that's the ultimate terrible thing about it. So Disney, you're still getting my money, but how dare you?
So we got some theatrical releases done, but now we got 3 Disney Plus releases.
Yes,
we have Hocus Pocus 2 in September 28th.
Oh, look, that trailer was phenomenal.
We have Disenchanted in November 24th.
That really was. That went in an entirely different direction, and I am here for it. The fact that Giselle is going to be, quote, a little bit more of a villain, love it.
I haven't seen Enchanted.
You haven't seen Enchanted?
No.
Oh,
I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss.
Darn straight.
And we also have the Santa Clauses in November 16th.
Mitch.
Yeah.
It scares me.
Yeah.
It scares me. Do you why? Because he looks like the plastic toy from the Santa Claus 2.
Yeah.
Like flat out.
So out of all 3 of these that are coming out this year, Hocus Pocus 2 for me is going to be the best.
Hocus Pocus 2 is going to
excited about.
That was going to be my most excited, but then Disenchanted 2's trailer came out. So I was like,
I'll watch Enchanted first, and then I'll get back to you.
Knowing your taste, I think you might say it's going to need to cook a little more.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, but as a Disney fan, you will eat up some of like the things that they do in there.
But Hocus Pocus 2, sisters?
We're going to be... The trailer really was magical with Hocus Pocus 2, and Disenchanted again, very magical, and then the Santa Clauses.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it. It was my childhood.
Yeah.
So and having Santa Claus retire is a very interesting concept.
Yeah.
And Bernard's coming back.
Yeah,
but
Bernard.
Bernard.
But
it's an interesting concept. The look looks, but I'm excited for it.
I'll watch it. So that's Disney.
That's Disney for us here. So that covers our Disney Studios, Disney Animation, and Pixar side, and Disney Plus as well. Disney Plus and the Disney side. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to Lucasfilm's announcements.
So that's Star Wars and
Indiana Jones and Willow.
Willow was announced.
We got a trailer for Willow. Excited for Willow, but I
haven't seen the
original. I really didn't grow up with it. I have seen the original Willow, which was fun.
I'll watch it.
But I will watch it too.
But we're talking about Mandalorian.
Ooh.
Season 3, February 2023. Okay, so there's a trailer shown.
I want to see the baby.
I think out of all the announcements for Lucasfilm, this has got to be the best because obviously we knew it's coming, but they showed a trailer, and it doesn't show anything.
It shows everything and nothing at the same time.
And that's what I love so much about it.
The best thing for me that I'm most excited about as a very huge Star Wars nerd, we're finally going to Mandalore. And,
that's right, yeah.
And I cannot wait to see Mandalore just get, because we saw in Boba Fett, like the actual like glassing of Mandalore, like them getting bombed out, but we didn't. But now we will actually like physically step foot onto Mandalore and like see it, and the shots that they showed. Heartbreaking, heartbreaking to me, because this is Mandalore. It's not supposed to be this sad. No,
they also showed a little bit Ahsoka, but nothing
that we saw. That was only in house. So unfortunately, we weren't able to see that. But we did get to see a personal favorite from me from the Rebels stuff. Sabine Wren got a little bit of a reveal and in house for the Ahsoka series. So I'm excited to find when Disney does decide to release some stuff about that. I'm excited to see it.
They're filming it, I think.
They are, yeah. I think they're at the end of principal photography right now.
But then you have the Andor final trailer, because this comes out September 21st.
Coming in hot, man, and I'm excited for it. The hype train has left the station, and we are here.
Well, I think because it's 26 episodes total, or is it 24? Because it's 2 seasons, and it's only 2 seasons.
Yes, but we're
total, yeah.
I believe we're doing 9 episodes for the first season.
Oh, I think it's 12.
Oh, might be 12.
12 in season 1 and 12 in season 2.
Okay, but I know
it will lead into Rogue One.
Correct. But I know season 1 will be more contained in like a year.
Yeah.
But they're gonna split it up into like 3 arcs.
Yep.
Like 3 or 4 arcs.
I think it's 4.
And then the next season 2, is gonna be split between multiple years.
Yeah.
And their arcs they're gonna still do the arc format, but each arc is gonna take place in a different year or a different time, which is gonna be interesting.
Now, one thing that I'm super excited for after watching this trailer was Tales of the Jedi, the animated show, October 26, 2022. That's going to be cool.
That's going to be legit.
It's got some Qui-Gon Jinn, Count Dooku.
Jedi Count Dooku, which is so cool. Yeah. We haven't seen him.
We've never seen him
in live action. We've only read him in books. We've only seen like very little things that have been hinted at. So it's so cool to see Dooku as a Jedi once again, and seeing him being a Padawan, and then seeing Ahsoka get trained by Anakin in the interim between the movie for the Star Wars Clone Wars movie and the series itself. So
I'm going to say this right now. The footage shows Anakin being an ass.
Which, to be honest, I feel like Anakin at the beginning of his teachings probably would be.
Oh, yeah. But, okay. I'm going to take this one.
Yeah, you can.
Indiana Jones.
We have an Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. What are you talking about?
This is the 5th Indiana Jones film.
Yeah, but what's the What's the title?
Indiana Jones.
But that's Raiders.
No.
It's just
Raiders is just Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's just simply Indiana Jones?
It is just simply Indiana Jones. It's coming out June 30th, 2023. They showed some in-house only footage.
Yep.
And they say it is amazing. Mm-hmm. And Harrison Ford has announced that this is the last Indiana Jones film.
Yep.
And he was
he was on the brink of tears. Yeah. I highly recommend all these conferences have pretty much been live streamed with the exception of some of the in-house footage. They would cut the feed and go like dark for a little bit, and then once it was done they would pop right back up.
Right.
Try to look up clips of Harrison Ford presenting at D23 because the dude was crying. And it was so interesting to see a man who, with my favorite character being Han Solo, who he's like, I was just waiting for that character to die, to then see him absolutely sobbing over Indiana Jones, who, again, is a wonderful... I love Indiana Jones. My Indiana Jones hat is literally sitting right across from me. But...
Well, he spent a lot of time with Indiana.
He did. I feel like that was... his character.
Yeah.
That he...
I mean, come on. Who else can have the stomach flu while filming Raiders of the Lost Ark and have a big, humongous fight scene planned... But then he's like, "Look, I gotta head for the toilet. We gotta
wrap it up.
We gotta wrap it up.
And then wrap it up."
And Spielberg's like, "Well, what are we gonna do? Oh, I got this. Bang! I mean, come on. Yeah. All right, that's Lucasfilm.
That's Lucasfilm. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So the next thing we're gonna go ahead and hit upon is gonna be Marvel.
What?
Marvel Studios.
We got a lot to talk about on this one.
We got a lot to talk about on this one. But we're actually going to travel a little bit back in time to Comic-Con back in June. Because they announced what Phase 5 and 6 is going to be in terms of timeline-wise.
So, Phase 4 will end with Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever and the Guardians Christmas special.
Ibambe.
So, Phase 5.
Yes. So it's
February, Man of the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yep.
Spring is Secret Invasion.
Excited.
May, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
R.I.P. the Guardians and James Gunn.
Summer is Echo on Disney+.
I'm actually kind of excited for that one.
Loki Season 2 was supposed to, I think it's like midsummer, I think.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, did you see who he was on Everything Everywhere All at Once, the husband?
Yes.
He's in this show.
Yes, he's
and
in
him
Loki.
and Harrison Ford, because he was in Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
with Indiana Jones and they took a photo together. Yeah, I loved it. Fantastic. Anyway, then July you have the Marvels. And one thing I'm so excited for.
Yeah, you are really excited for this next one.
Blade! I'm so excited. And
Mahershala Ali is going to be phenomenal.
And then you have Ironheart. And by that time, it will go to 2024. And you have Agatha. They did shorten that just to Agatha, right? I think so. Okay, yeah. And then... Daredevil. Spring 2024, you have Daredevil. Daredevil is coming back. Yep. And then May, Captain America... New World Order. Now, there are other dates set. They just don't have titles and they don't know what. They know, but we don't. But there's also Phase 6. Yes. So Phase 6, it's a lot of dates. We're not going to say all the dates, but what will pretty much start off Phase 6 is going to be the Fantastic Four. Directed by Matt Shakman. Yep. Who was announced at D23 to be official. And the big one. Two big ones, honestly. May, and they both come out, and one comes out in May, the other one comes out in November 2025. Yep. We got Avengers coming back. The franchise is making a big turn, and it's the first one's going to be Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. The second one, Avengers: Secret Wars. So, and those two are going to cap off what Marvel is calling the multiverse saga. The multiverse saga. So, okay. Here's the thing. Out of all these announcements, we're all excited about the two Avengers films. Yes. I think what has me shocked and excited is the fact that they are 6 months apart. Yeah. That has never been done before. How will they do it? I know they have announced that 2 separate directors. The director of Shang-Chi is Kang Dynasty.
Yep.
Who the hell is going to direct a big project like Secret Wars?
It's gonna be tough. And needless to say, it's also worth noting that there are 2 unnamed projects that are gonna happen in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Probably one might be a movie, but I can put money on one's gonna be a Disney Plus show.
So you can't help but feel so excited for these 2 films. Mm-hmm. Especially with Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Secret Wars, you grab multiple characters from multiple dimensions and timelines. Who's going to be in it?
Okay, that's the big question, isn't it? Is because it's Secret Wars, you have multiple dimensions that you could play with, which means anyone, anything is literally on the table at this point. You thought Into the Spider-Verse and No Way Home, you had a plethora to play with.
And
Multiverse of Madness, you had a plethora to play with. Secret Wars is going to say, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Because they could literally stretch into anything.
They could go TV shows. They could go from animation. You have X-Men 97 that's coming. They could bring from that.
They can bring from the old 20th century X-Men, either versions, whether you got the Hugh Jackman versions or the newer X-Men.
Here's the real question. So a lot of people are asking, I would be okay if they didn't, but if they did, I would be elated. Would Downey and Chris Evans come back?
I think they would. It's 2025.
6 years after.
6 years after they've already quote unquote retired. They're already Disney legends. So we got them in that. But
Downey would do it for a very hefty paycheck.
I think he would too, but I also feel like Downey would do it if it was the right script as well.
And I know Evans is wanting to direct.
Yeah, I would see a Chris Evans directed MCU movie.
Oh, I would definitely see that.
And he definitely won't take on Secret Wars.
No.
That, as cool as an announcement that would be.
Oh, yeah.
After you think about it for 0.2 seconds, you would be like, that's not a good call.
Suck. Yeah.
As much as I love you, Chris Evans, and your directing style is improving, just don't take on that one.
So... Who would you pick for Secret Wars? Just any name. Throw it.
The Return of the Russo brothers.
You want the Russo brothers, even though they said they're not coming back?
They said that they wouldn't come back, but they said they would consider Secret Wars if it was ever on the table.
Well, I know. Well, they announced that they are not directing it.
Yeah, they have, but we've got a couple of years, so
they could
change
their mind. So.
But we'll go ahead now that we've traveled back in time, we'll go back forward into 2022.
Dang it. We can make a whole episode on that.
Oh yeah, 100%. But we'll go ahead and move on to Secret Invasion's trailer was dropped, which will come out in spring of 2023. It's a Disney Plus show.
Holy.
Not a whole lot shown in that trailer.
But what was shown was pretty incredible.
Pretty incredible. And the reason why you're holding it close to the chest for Secret Invasion specifically is because the entire point of Secret Invasion is who's a Skrull and who ain't.
Well, and it leads into other films.
Yeah,
too.
It will bleed into other films and other properties.
Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty.
Yes.
So literally, this show, in my opinion, the most important Marvel MCU show.
Probably.
Period.
Yeah.
And
ever since, I would say it's the most important one since WandaVision.
I will agree. Yes. Because
WandaVision
Nick Fury has been off-world for who knows how long. And Samuel L. Jackson's getting up there in age, so he's been wanting to do this for a while, I think. But yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big show. Mm-hmm. But one thing I'm so excited for.
This has been on my radar for a while, and I'm really excited for it. And I low key forgot about it for like a hot second, but then when I heard that there was a trailer out for it, I was excited.
I sent you the trailer.
Yeah, it's Werewolf by Night, which is coming out October 7th.
This October 7th?
It's going to be shot in black and white. And guess who is the director
Michael Giacchino.
The composer?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Man-Thing's going to be in it.
Gosh, this is going to be so interesting.
It's only going to be about an hour, I think. It's a special.
It is a special. That's what they're marketing as, but
it's a film.
I cannot wait to see Michael Giacchino direct something.
I want to see that, but I want to see how scary it's going to be.
This genuinely...
It looks terrifying. To me, it does.
People kept on. It always seems to be like every single Doctor Strange movie. It's going to step into the horror realm, and then it starts to, but then steps back a little bit, and then Multiverse of Madness happened, and it stepped a little bit further, but then it stepped a little bit farther back again. Yeah. This one is genuinely going to be like a B-C list horror movie, and I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, I feel like this is a test run for horror and scary and dark.
Yep.
So it can get Marvel ready for like Deadpool and Blade and Daredevil to see like, okay, will audiences watch something this dark and dramatic and scary on Disney Plus, or if it was released in film and theaters,
if they can translate it,
would they be able to do it? There's a lot of pressure behind this too. I think
so too. I think they did it for fun, but I think it's also an experiment.
Sure. So we talked about Matt Shakman.
Yep. He was announced as the Fantastic Four director.
No cast
announced. A little disappointed by that.
Yeah.
I was hoping that we would at least get our 4.
But I think, so since they just brought him in, they probably have ideas.
They probably have a form of an outline of a script.
Yeah.
If not a first draft.
But think about this. John Watts left a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they bring him back, bring Matt in. Who knows? Like, John Watts' version of Fantastic Four may be completely different from Matt's.
100%. So, they could completely scrap whatever ideas that they've had before.
Sure, and they have time. They have time.
They got plenty of time.
What, they got 2 years?
2 years, yep.
Yeah, so, yeah. Then we have the Thunderbolts cast.
The Thunderbolts cast was also announced.
Because that comes out in 20... Oh, where's that in our timeline?
Oh, yeah.
Where's that at?
I forgot to actually put a release date on that one. That's my bad, folks.
It's not... Oh, that's my fault. It's not on the thing.
It's
How
okay.
dare I?
Well, it is. It's. We boo-booed on both of our parts.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Thunderbolts comes out 2024.
It's coming down the pipeline. And it's basically like the Dark Avengers almost.
Well, and a lot of people are like, what kind of team is this? Think of Suicide Squad, but in Avengers form.
Pretty much. And I was kind of shocked by who was going to be in there, and more importantly, who wasn't actually going to be in there.
I feel like who you're thinking will probably be in it, but they're saving it.
Probably because of everything that's been going down recently.
Well, not just that, there's a show going on right now, She-Hulk.
Yep.
And there's a few films coming out too.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But like the main cast was announced. I liked it. It was a good, nice surprise to have Winter Soldier. I think he's going to be like the leading man, quote unquote.
You have Yelena Belalova. You have
the Red Guardian is coming back.
David Harbour.
I'm so exciid for that. I was not expecting that for the Thunderbolts, but to see him come back, I'm really excited.
You have Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. You have Taskmaster.
Taskmaster is in there.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
I'm here for that because I thought they did Taskmaster a little bit dirty in Black Widow. So to get a second run with Taskmaster, I'm really excited for to flesh Taskmaster out a lot more.
And you also have U.S. Agent is supposed to be in it.
Yep.
Wyatt Russell. And I'm Russell's boy.
I'm okay with that. I thought he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I can't wait to continue going down that rabbit hole with him.
So that takes care of the Thunderbolts cast, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
But one quick thing, and then we have another quick thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next one that we'll go ahead into is Captain America New World Order was not announced, but expanded upon. We do have a release date for it. It's, not a date.
I think it's May 2024.
Yeah, I believe so. So it was announced who the villain was going to be. And
Tim Blake Nelson is the leader.
And we finally are cashing in on one of the oldest post-credit scenes that we have in the MCU, which is at the end of the Incredible Hulk, Universal's Incredible Hulk, if you remember correctly. We had him laying on the ground, Tim Blake, And you saw his head kind of move because he had a scar and some of Bruce's blood got into him. And as we know from She-Hulk, even if a little bit of blood gets into another person's system,
it affects you. And the smile he had too.
So the fact that we're finally cashing in and getting the leader that's big. Phenomenal.
Well, think of what that could implications that, because the leader is a big villain. Mm-hmm. What implications that will have on, because if you're caught up on She-Hulk, Hulk's off world. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be very interesting to see where they go with, especially very interesting Captain America villain to have. So, so very interesting to take it on that way, and I can't wait to see what we got, and can't wait to see Sam Wilson wear the Stars and Stripes again.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be great. But one more thing, this is
from way off the freaking rocker here.
We have a game to talk about.
Not only a game, a very important game in my opinion.
It's Amy Hennig, the creator of Uncharted.
Yep, and she was going to be doing the Project Red Tag Star Wars game with EA,
but now she's doing
Visceral Games, but that got canned because EA, screw you.
But she's making another Star Wars.
She's making another Star Wars game, so Lucasfilm's making it up to us, but she's coming with a Marvel game coming out.
Mm-hmm. It's a World War II period piece. Mm-hmm. So who's in World War II?
Captain America, I believe, is a World War II.
Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers, yes,
and somebody else.
Who else could be a World War II person?
Black Panther?
Wait, T'Challa's in World War II? What do you mean?
He's too young for that.
Oh, so we're getting his
T'Chaka.
T'Chaka is gonna be there, and a really cool thing, which I love about their concept when they brought it out. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be team based.
Yeah,
it's gonna revolve a 4-person team. So you got Cap, you got T'Chaka. Then you got a member of the Dora Milaje as a spy.
Right.
And then you have one of Cap's buddies.
Yeah.
From the...
Maybe Bucky?
No, it's not Bucky.
Oh,
it's from... I can't remember.
I know what you're talking
his
about,
hounds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Howling Commandos.
That's it, yeah.
The Howling Commandos. It's one of the members from the Howling Commandos. So I'm really excited to see what all this is going to be.
Well, you don't see footage. You just see that
just the concept
cinematic trailer. And they don't have a release date. But yeah, really the only takeaway when it comes to the Marvel and Disney games was the Captain America game.
Pretty much that. And then a Tron game, which
I'm
like...
I'm
for it. But like those were like the two big standouts and nothing else.
Disney,
was really
I feel like, is... Disney right now when it comes to the video games, they're not trying to figure it out. They have a grasp, but it's like
they're always tiptoeing around it. They either like they commit and then they walk away, then they commit and then they walk away. Because like if you remember, they did like
Disney Interactive,
Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
Then they had the Epic Mickey franchise.
Those games were good.
Those games were good, but again, like they released the first one and then like 5-6 years later, then they released the second one, and we haven't gotten any info if they're even going to continue it after that.
I think Disney finally realized that they would spend more money making the games and not get much back. So they're like, let's just license them, which I think, to me,
smart.
That's one of the smartest decisions when it comes to video games they've ever had.
100%.
Because think of all the great games they have coming. They have Marvel Spider-Man 2. They have
Indiana Jones
for
Bethesda.
You have Wolverine, that game. So I think this is a good stepping point for Marvel and Disney games. Because you have Kingdom Hearts 4. You know they're going to make a ton of other games. Like, you think of how many like branches of Disney: Star Wars, Marvel, Indiana Jones, Mickey Mouse, Goofy. Shoot, they could make a Goofy fishing game.
I would buy it.
I would buy it, too.
I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Or like an open world Mickey Mouse game.
How about a Big Hero 6 game? An open world San Francisco Big Hero 6 game.
What about an open world Tarzan game?
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be.
All right, but we're getting a little off topic there. So that's it for in terms of movies. We're going to go ahead and start moving on, but we're going to take a small little break and let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby. We have an announcement.
We have a small announcement that we want to make. We've been alluding to it in a couple of episodes, but never have outright said it.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
We're going to set sail a little bit on this announcement because we're going on a cruise. Probably.
A Disney cruise?
A Disney cruise. I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss.
I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss. We're going on the Disney dream.
We're going to be doing a Halloween cruise.
We have our costumes planned.
Oh, we cannot wait to show you what those costumes will be. That will be an announcement for later. I know
Zach is in pain, and I'm about to panic.
But we're really excited for our Halloween cruise, and we're going to be setting sail October 15th through the 20th.
And we have something else to tell you about that
which
cruise.
Goes hand in hand. That cruise is actually going to launch a new side of Excellent Little Podcast. Mm-hmm. We are going to be launching a YouTube channel. We are going to start. We're going to start adding our podcast onto our YouTube channel, as well as we are going to start doing a couple things involved with the parks. Yeah, maybe a park days, maybe some watch parties. Mm-hmm. Like we're going to go ahead and start trying to interact with you guys a little bit more,
and maybe like. On days where we see films, we may take you what we do around Springs. Yeah. Maybe like some places to eat, some places. Maybe if we want to do a walk around Epcot and try some of the food there. We have so many ideas.
Oh yeah,
the sky's the limit for Excellent Little Podcast, and we are so excited to show you whatever we have in store. We may have some other things planned, but
we still just got those things cooking in a little bit. Yeah. They need to cook a little more.
Yeah, a little bit more, because right now there was one project I thought of, but I think we have to throw that in the garbage disposal.
We'll see. We're constantly looking ways to evolve and grow Excellent Little Podcast. And if you want to be a part of it, go ahead and let us know as soon as you can.
But yeah, we're going on a cruise.
But yeah, we're really excited. We can't wait to set sail in October.
Any schedule mishaps.
Yes. But
it's paid for.
It is paid for. It is, and we're about to set sail in a little bit. Mm-hmm. So now back to D23.
Mm-hmm. One more.
We got one more big slice of pie here.
And no, Zach, it's not pie. It's cake and ice cream.
I thought it was funnel cake, but I'll go with that too. Is it a Mickey waffle?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a cake. I think it's one of those, those big, massive...
Oh, like the dome cakes?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big, giant Mickey Mouse dome cake.
And it has 5 or 6 layers of ice cream. Yeah. It has kitchen sink ice cream. This section is basically have your cake and eat your ice cream, or eat your cake and have your ice cream with it too. And boy, oh boy.
The Disney parks are what we're about to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got a lot to go through, so we'll go ahead and knock out a couple of things.
Yeah.
So first thing, it was funnily enough, we actually me and Mitch went to Magic Kingdom to celebrate something, and
can we tell them about that?
We alluded to it in one of the episodes. I think we can official.
I'm getting a new role.
You are. You're moving out of Fantasyland.
I am.
You're moving on to some other forms of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to entertainment.
Yeah. I will be a character attendant.
And we cannot wait, and we can support that decision here. So we are excited to see you move on to entertainment. And I know a bunch of those people there, and they're a great group. So you're going to have a whole lot of fun there.
Thank you for the support, Mr. Zach.
But anyway, so we were celebrating that.
We went to the Haunted Mansion.
We were at MK, and we went on the Haunted Mansion. And while we were going through the attic scene, Mitch asked me, well, where's the Hatbox Ghost supposed to be?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, in Disneyland, it's actually about to come up before we fall down into the graveyard scene.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about and they sell a bunch of the merch here, but we just don't have it.
Well, I think I even mentioned that'll ever happen, or because it was supposed to be at Walt Disney World first.
Yeah.
But then
there was a lot of things that like
there was a lot of issues.
There was also issues with the animatronic itself, and when they did get it up in Disneyland, because it went up for like a day or two in Disneyland, and then it was taken away, and then it was gone. And now it's back.
It's been back for a couple years.
Now, but
and it's working. It's working.
Yeah, well, and it was brought up for the original attraction, like when it opened in Disneyland originally,
way back in the 50s.
So it's a legacy character, quote unquote. That's finally, and it's been announced that it's finally coming to the Walt Disney World attraction, which we are really excited about.
It's the Hatbox Ghost.
Yes, we are excited to see the Hatbox Ghost make its grand arrival here.
Just in time for the Haunted Mansion film, which we forgot to mention.
We did.
But with no footage.
But we did. There was footage that
we didn't see.
It's
supposed to come out in March of 2023.
Yeah, which
with Owen Wilson. Wow.
And Jamie Lee Curtis as Madame Leota.
She came in a Doom buggy. Did you see that?
She came in a Doom buggy.
That was fantastic. But anyway, Hatbox Ghost is coming. We're excited. We're going to ride it. We're going to see it, and we're going to get scared and all that fun stuff. And we're all going to take pictures and everything.
So moving on from the Hatbox Ghost, another grand arrival, quote unquote, to the Magic Kingdom is coming.
Yeah, so they announced that Happily Ever After is returning sometime in 2023.
Yeah.
But it's it's the song, not the fireworks show.
But I feel like the essence of Happily Ever After is still...
Yeah.
I believe they're just going to expand on the show.
Yeah, which I'm all for.
I think it will pretty much be the same show. They're just probably going to add some things, probably a little bit of an Encanto, probably a couple of like scenes they're going to add. But in terms of like the show, I think it's still going to remain pretty much untouched.
Okay.
I believe so.
I don't know. I know I haven't seen Enchantment, but I heard mixed reviews. So
it's not bad, but
it's not good.
It's not the best. But another reason why I think it's going to be, again, the same show. They say, okay, so the fuzzy thing about this announcement is that they literally used the phrase sometime in 2023.
Right.
Now, we do know Enchantment is leaving in March of 2023.
Right.
So what's really interesting here is, since we know Enchantment is leaving at a very more specific time, does that mean Enchantment is going to get extended
a little bit,
until this new version of Happily Ever After is ready? Or are we going to get a small, like, Epcot Forever-esque fireworks show in the interim?
Yeah.
Which would not be mad, but it would
be a filler.
So, but then makes me wonder, if that is the case, why not just announce that show here?
So I talked to a few people, and they say it's going to be similar to Happily Ever After, but it's going to be bigger.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm all for. I cannot wait for Happily Ever After to return. If
they add something new, I'm all for it.
I do want them to still keep the structure of the hero's journey.
Sure, of course.
Maybe change around a few songs. Maybe take away some songs. I would hate to have Hunchback leave, but if
they take away Hunchback, I'm going to cause a riot. I love that.
But it's okay. But we as Disney Park fans, specifically from the Walt Disney World area, are really excited for its grand return.
Yeah, but another fireworks spectacular, Harmonious, is going to be retiring.
Which Harmonious has grown on me.
Really?
I think it's the best fireworks show ever? No. But to me, it was better than
Illuminations. I hate Illuminations.
I really did. I know a lot of people love Illuminations. I'm not a fan of it, but I love its message. It's how it was tackled was maybe not the best, because you're staring at a globe that's projections, and the projections are so small, and there's nothing else pretty much going around until like every now and again a firework shoots off.
Yeah,
and then the grand finale's great.
Yeah, grand finale's really good. Yeah,
but
when we go home,
but like the show itself as a whole, just not a fan of.
Yeah,
but Harmonious, I thought was a really wonderful idea, going through multiple different Disney songs in what would have been the native tongue of those countries. Again, some were executed great, some were not, because they basically did maybe a lyric, like a small line of it in the other language, and then it would switch right back to English, so they could say, yes, we did it, but really didn't. I've grown on it. The ending always gets me because it's Someday from Hunchback again. So like I freaking cry every single time I hear that song.
Right.
But yeah, it's retiring, but there's no...
From what I heard, the show that they're thinking about is a Disney 100-esque fireworks show. Kind of similar to what they're doing in Disneyland with World of Color.
That's fair. Which also, speaking of World of Color... World of Color is also getting a little bit of a redo as well.
Yeah.
So
knock that out of the way.
So we'll go ahead and knock that one out of the way too.
I have a perfect thinking. What if they bring World of Color to Epcot?
That would be fun, but they won't do it.
I know, but I know what you're thinking. How would you do it? You could easily do it in the World Showcase.
Yeah?
You could do it.
Okay.
It'd just be a little bit more condensed.
Sure. I believe it.
I want it.
I'm not saying you can't. All right. So another thing that a lot of parks people were very much expecting was an announcement about this next one.
Well, 3 announcements, but this one
was big, especially from the Walt Disney World people.
Yes.
We were expecting a official concrete date for Tron's opening. We got a more concrete date than we've had before. Which is spring of 2023. Not gonna lie, very disappointed about this announcement.
Yeah.
This ride, not gonna lie, has been in the works and been built in Walt Disney World for now 4 years.
I remember they announced in 2017.
4 years, and this is a carbon copy of a ride that's already been built.
Yeah. I think, well, number one, the panini.
The panini definitely had it, and then because of the panini, there was a worker strike. There, so that pushed things back.
I think also, we live in Florida. There's
elements that are different than from our friends on the other side,
and also you have to remember the railroad.
Correct. We also had to deal with the railroad because evidently, again, this is not something that we know for sure. This has been rumors and speculations and he said, she said. But what I heard about the railroad is that when they drew up the concept, they literally just took Tron from that one park and literally just placed it in Tomorrowland. And they didn't think about the railroad. And when they said, "Oh, where's the railroad going through?" They went, "What do you mean?" Well, you put it right over the tracks. What are you gonna do with the railroad? So the railroad is still being, I believe. Another thing I was also disappointed about: no release window for the railroad.
Neither Fantasmic either,
and neither Fantasmic. It's been announced that cast members for the railroad are starting to be trained again.
Yeah.
So it's evidently on
it's coming.
They're on the horizon, but I feel they probably can't give the all clear until construction and Imagineering gives them the all clear in Tron.
Sure.
So they can't drive through an active construction zone until everything's ready. So a little disappointed by that.
But we do have 2 more things that were announced.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the rework or retheme.
Splash Mountain.
It's I feel like it's a combination of rework and retheming of Splash Mountain. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to be opening for Disneyland and Disney World in 2024.
I think they said late 2024.
Late 2024, and I believe they said Disneyland's is coming first.
We knew that was coming.
Correct.
Same thing with Star Wars.
Yep, and we understand why.
I do too.
Because I feel like they have a little bit less theming they need to overhaul with for the Disneyland one. At least externally. Internally, it's probably all. It's literally all the same overhaul. But
I also think they'll have less of an audience over there too.
Correct,
because they're in California, whereas here in Florida, we're Walt Disney World. If they open Tiana first here, oh baby.
Well, and the other thing too is that you have to remember Splash Mountain is a people eater.
Yes.
So if they were to close it down before Tron opens, there would be way too many people in Magic Kingdom because of it. So we have to wait for Walt Disney World's
Tron to open
for us to even start on Splash Mountain.
Yep.
So my thought is, originally my thought was going to be they were going to do it during the annual refurb for Splash Mountain, whenever they have to like clean the runs and whatnot in January and February. Usually it goes down for like about 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, it's longer than that.
Oh yeah. Usually it's like a month or two.
It's about almost 2.5 months.
Yeah. So I thought that's when they would probably officially start it.
Yeah.
But since spring of 2023 is now our opening day for Tron, I feel like that my theory for that has gone out the window. So
but it
still could.
Yeah.
It still could. February is still the start of spring. So
March too.
So who knows? But
we got one more thing.
Then another, I'm not gonna lie, disappointment. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I was okay with.
Yeah, because we knew that was long way
I was expecting 2024, 2025. So the fact that we even got 2024, that's a win, in my opinion. But one that I was disappointed about is Moana's Way of the Water in Epcot is opening in 2024.
No, that was late 23. Yeah, it's
23. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was looking above. Yes, it's late 2023, and emphasis on the late.
Yeah. That could be
December.
Yeah.
Which means the Epcot construction walls will be up for yet another 1.5 years.
And that's been up for a while. Yeah.
Aggravating.
Yeah, that's been up for a while, I think.
I get it. Epcot's revamp was hurt the most because of the Panini.
Yep.
But my goodness. I get it. You changed concepts. I get it that things happened. But
we have no more Mary Poppins.
Right? We have no more Mary Poppins, but you have had those construction walls up for too darn long. You've been working on so much. And every single time that I look at an aerial shot of that, I'm like, what are you working on? You haven't been... It looks like you guys have had those construction walls up, but haven't worked on anything.
Right.
I don't know if it's because you're trying to get... You maybe are pushing people to Tron to get that open as soon as possible, or what's going on, but it's been so long that those construction walls have been up, and to think that another 1.5 years we're going to have to wait probably until this is going to freaking open. That's unfortunate.
There's going to be a lot of frustration.
Yeah. But on the bright side, we're getting a 16-foot Tafiti. So, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. That's going to be a really cool skyline piece to Epcot. I'm really excited to see that.
It's going to take over the ball.
It's going to get close. Yeah. But I am excited to see what Way of the Water does, because it's going to be a walkthrough attraction, which is interesting and kind of cool, because originally Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, all our classic like ride-throughs were going to be walkthroughs. So it's kind of like a little bit of cool Disney history as well with that.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I'm just really sad and kind of upset that we're waiting all the way to late 2023 to actually get it.
So we're going to take a quick Walt Disney World break.
Yep.
We have a ship to talk about. Not our ship.
A new ship.
Not the Disney Wish.
Number 6, right?
Yep. The Disney Treasure. Will have her maiden voyage in 2025. I think it was July, right around the same time the Wish had her maiden voyage.
Yep.
Which I have to throw this out there. The Disney Cruise Line, one of the best parts of this company, that cruise line makes bank.
That it does. And I mean, they wouldn't be adding 4 new ships if it weren't for it.
Yeah, because the Wish, the Treasure.
And then 2 more ships.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what the next 2 ships will be still, but the Disney Treasure, we've seen a little bit of concept art for.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. There's not much, but they're hinting at, they heavily had, Peter Pan in the marketing, so Aladdin. So I'm guessing kind of more of like a fantasy realm aspect of it.
The Wish was kind of similar to that too, I think. Mm-hmm. And also the Disney Wonder was announced that it will be sailing to Australia and New Zealand, which that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. That no cruise. I mean, some cruise lines do sail over there, but it's Australia is a long haul.
Yeah.
And also they announced in the Bahamas there's a new island. I can't think of what the title of it was.
I'm excited to see what the new island will be.
But we're going to Castaway Cay.
We're going to Castaway Cay, which is an oldie but a goodie. We always, I always hear good things about it.
But enough of that.
Yeah, so Disney Treasure's coming out in the 2025. We'll go ahead and move on to Disneyland's announcements, which there's a lot of actually really cool things happening over there.
There's a new Avengers ride.
There's going to be a new Avengers ride on Avengers Campus, supposedly surrounding King Thanos.
And multiverse.
And it's going to be multiverse themed.
And Kevin Feige was there. God bless Kevin Feige. I'm glad he came to announce the ride.
Yep.
Because when Avengers Campus was announced, there was supposed to be that Quinjet experience, kind of similar a la Flight of Passage, but obviously, Panini. But I feel like they looked at it, they're like, so this is cool. But what happened, there's this multiverse saga that's happening with Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, can we pick your brain with this? And Kevin's like, I have a great idea.
I have a nerdgasm for you.
Well, and I bet he went... Kevin's a big Disney guy, too.
Oh, yeah.
So he probably was eating his chops.
100%.
When he got to talk to the Imagineers. And he's like, hey, what if we added King Thanos?
Yeah.
And the Imagineers like...
We get Thanos? No.
King Thanos. And they're like, okay, so what characters can we add?
Yes.
All of them.
Yes. But your answer is yes. Every single one.
I would make, it would be, I don't know if this will happen, but if like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield swang in, well, baby.
Well,
I know that may not happen.
And the very fun thing about it is that in like the concept art that they released, there were
multiple Spider-Man.
There were multiple Spider-Man, but not only that, some of them were animated, some of them were live action. So that is the scope that you're looking at. It's a genuine multiverse that you're looking at for this ride.
And they don't have a release date, but I would wait forever for that ride.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we have that. We have the Mandalorian and the Hulk have meet and greets in Disneyland.
His new name's Mando.
This is bullshit. I am pissed that they have a Spider-Man meet and greet, a Captain America, a Loki,
Avengers
Wanda.
Campus basically gets a new character every week.
And now we have Hulk and Mandalorian. Bullshit.
And Grogu. Grogu is going to be at Mando's side.
On.
This is... I love this. I love that these announcements, and especially coming from a CEO that admittedly does not care for entertainment in the parks. It's really nice to see.
But Josh tomorrow, I know, is big on entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah. So the fact that we're getting more stuff invested into entertainment, I'm really excited about.
Sure.
And I'm really excited to see that stuff is brooding. And who knows, maybe we might get Mando over here at Galaxy's Edge East. So.
I think we will. I just hate that some company across the street, Universal, needs my Marvel characters. I wish they would just give them back.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
They bought them fair and square.
They did, but you know what? Chicken butt.
All right, but here's one that I am really excited for specifically because, Big Hero 6 is really near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And it's announced that California's Adventures Land for the Pacific Wharf is actually going to get a retheme.
Yeah,
it's now going to be turned into San Francisco, where
not Francisco.
Not Francisco, San Francisco, which is where Big Hero 6 takes place. And it showed the archway. It showed like a couple of the fan balloons. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. And they said Baymax is going to meet and greet over there. And since I've helped program that robot a couple of times, I'm excited. I will definitely make my way to Disney California Adventure to hug a marshmallow again, 100%. I will go. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what they do with that.
So we also we talked about World of Color.
Yep, it is getting revamped. Again, I don't have very much ties with that show because, again, I haven't seen it. I have not been to Disneyland, but I would be excited to see what they have in store for it.
I think it's another Disney 100 anniversary thing.
Probably.
So that's Disneyland. Now it's back to Walt Disney World.
And these
are blue sky concepts.
These are blue sky concepts. And to be honest,
they possibly may not happen.
They may not happen. That's what we want to make sure that we say. But it's also been a very big point of contention of whether or not this D23 has succeeded or failed in a lot of Disney fans' minds. And it's split.
Yeah.
So one blue sky concept is that they're going to expand the Magic Kingdom. Behind Big Thunder Mountain, there's about like 7 or 8 acres of land that's right now kind of untouched. Kind of. There is some backstage stuff that I do know about back there.
That I don't.
There is, but Disney's looking at adding a possible land. And the things that they threw out were Encanto, Coco, and something a lot of fans have been buzzing about for years and have been wanting, a Villain's Land.
Which, out of all three of these, I want a Villain's Land.
I want a Villain's Park.
I don't think we have.
I want a Dark Kingdom, man.
See,
but I don't.
Where would you put it?
I have a few ideas.
Okay.
But that's for another video. But I feel like the Dark King. I feel like a Villain's Park, a Villain's Land would be a
cop out, maybe.
Cop out.
Okay.
I feel like. But at the same time, I also feel like Encanto and Coco would maybe not be the best fit for the Magic Kingdom specifically. Not saying that they don't have a spot in Walt Disney World. I think they 100% do. But in the Magic Kingdom specifically as a full themed land,
I think Coco
maybe not.
I think Coco would be a better fit because right next to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Yeah, in terms of like location, I guess it kind of would be okay.
Yeah, because what happens if you die in the Wild West? You maybe.
But I don't know. The ideas
it has to make sense. Yeah, I do.
But if you go around like the ideas of the lands, the land of fantasy, the land of frontiers, the land of tomorrow, the land of adventure, the land of ye old America.
Yeah, Main Street USA.
And Main Street USA. And then you got the land of ye old Coco.
Yeah.
Or the land of ye old Encanto. Or the land of ye old villains. Which villains would kind of make sense, but then extend Fantasyland again in that case. Like, if that's what you were going to do, then you should put it in Fantasyland. But
I think, so, from what I've been gathering, villains may not go in Big Thunder, behind Big Thunder. They are talking, from what I heard, they were going to put either Encanto or Coco behind Big Thunder. And Villains was going to go somewhere else in the Magic Kingdom.
Interesting.
So I think I like the idea of expanding the Fantasyland area. Because you could put Maleficent somewhere, you can put the Evil Queen somewhere. We
could finally get our Emperor's New Groove Pull the Lever Kronk ride.
Possibly. Yeah.
We could. I'm not saying it would happen, but we could.
But I also like the idea of a Villains Park. But the thing that worries me a little bit is, that's going to take a lot of time and money.
It will. But that would take a lot of time and money for opening a fifth gate period, no matter if it was villains or not. But that's something that I'm alluding to a little bit further. But another blue sky concept that was floated out there is that they also are looking at themed areas based around Moana and Zootopia and possibly doing it in Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And it was going to replace...
And they didn't say it's going to replace. But when the concept art was kind of released, the Blue Sky concept art was released, it was laid over Dino Land.
Yeah.
Which again, they're alluded to, but Josh D'Amaro and everyone said, "Oh no, we're not going.
It's not confirmed.
We're not confirmed. We're not saying that this is going to happen." But they were very tongue in cheek about it. Mm-hmm. So it makes me think they are looking at a replacement for Dino Land USA in Animal Kingdom, which makes.
I think Zootopia would be a better fit.
Zootopia would be a better fit in terms of animals on the surface level, but there was one person that put it really well for me that I was talking to today. Zootopia is people problems with animals acting as people, but Animal Kingdom is more so about animals issues
with people.
With people.
Okay.
And that's what it's about. Animal Kingdom is genuinely about helping animals, conservations,
sure,
things like that.
Sure.
Zootopia is not about that. That's about social change.
Sure.
So it really doesn't fit once again with the stuff around the land. Mm-hmm. And it makes me a little bit worried that we're starting to focus a little more on the IP aspect of things, more so than the idea of, does this actually fit in the ideas of the parks?
I think, as much as I hate to say this, with some people being where they are, I think IPs are, that's just the way with the company is.
I agree.
Now, sadly, which is very sad
and
to say.
Iger was big on that.
Yeah.
That was Iger's biggest thing, was IPs. But, and I'm not saying IPs are bad. Intellectual properties are wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I will geek out at everything that is Star Wars. It doesn't matter what. But at the same time, let's look at Pandora, for example. Perfect example. An already established intellectual property coming into an already formed Disney park. So what did you do in order to make it fit with the park? Well, we talk about the nature, the creatures, everything about Pandora itself, not the people, not what the people problems are. We talk about what the beauty of the nature of Pandora and the wildlife and biomes of Pandora. That's the point of Pandora. So that's how you can make an IP fit. So if they do Zootopia, if that's what they decide to do, they have to go down more like animal things, in my own opinion. And if they do Moana, well, then maybe let's kind of do something more with the water and the fish, I guess. An aquarium, which we already have the seas with Nemo and Friends, but maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Time will tell, and that covers all the parks.
Pretty much, but the big question that we kind of alluded to at the beginning really comes down to, especially for our friends in Orlando, Universal is coming out with Epic Universe, and it's hot on our tail. It's coming out really, really soon in 2023 and 2024.
I think it was 2024.
It's right around the corner. A lot of people were looking at this as D23 to be, this is how Disney is going to answer that. Do you, Mitch, think this D23 succeeded in terms of answering Universal's call?
No, not yet. And the reason why I say that is I love the Blue Sky concepts, but the fact of the matter is, Epic Universe is a whole new park. Whereas what Disney's trying to do, they're trying to expand what the parks they have, which I'm all for it. But here's also the thing. There's so many things in those parks that need touched up on. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name attractions.
Sure.
So I feel like Disney was kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
That's fair.
They knew they weren't going to... I don't know. Again, everyone wants a new park.
Yep.
Where would you put it? There's really no place to put it. There are, but again, you would have to try to find another resort to make. You'd have to add more buses and everything. Yeah. I think Disney right now is just trying to play the what could we do to
our existing
things in order to make money but also save money.
That's fair.
And
especially because we are in an era, again, we do not speak for the brand or the company. These are our own vices. We are in an era of a CEO who puts one of our biggest penny pinchers to the challenge. Bob Chapek is very, very frugal in terms of a CEO, which is good in some aspects and bad in other aspects.
Yeah. He's really good at what he does. I will give him credit for that.
I disagree.
When it comes to like money, in my opinion.
Somewhat still disagree. The man spends the money in both the
right and wrong places
with the right intentions, but the wrong ways, and then ends up being the wrong reason.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
He's also very reactionary as a CEO. He's not the one to take the first step, which is unfortunate as a CEO. That's, I feel like, one of Chapek's biggest issues is that he takes a step when it's too late. And that's where I think is going to bite us in the butt when it comes to Epic Universe. Because to answer the question for me, Disney's about to be humbled a whole lot by Universal. And I don't just mean just because of Epic Universe. I think Universal's about to really serve a humble slice of pie to Disney and be like, hey, we're contenders.
Yeah.
And we're about to pass you. And you're going to know it. You're going to say, thank you, Daddy, and move forward. The next decade is going to be us catching up. And that's not just because of Bob Chapek. Bob Iger is also to blame for this as well. Because if you look at the ideas of the expansions of the parks that started with Iger.
Star Wars.
Yes. So the idea of expanding lands and retheming the parks that way, land by land, was a Bob Iger idea. And now it's spiraled out of control, in my own opinion.
So in your opinion, what should they do?
In my opinion, personally, we need to start going away from DVC.
Really?
Which is interesting. We need to stop investing so heavy in DVC. It is almost guaranteed income, but it's income that has not processed yields as much as I feel like the company has hoped for. Because I've been to the parks recently a whole bunch. I have never seen DVC resellers so fiery and so adamant at getting to talk to you. Every single time I've gone to a park, they have actively tried to talk to me and get me to their booths. Every time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because it's my age, because I'm supposedly in the home buying age, which I technically am, but I'm not financially. But we need to start pivoting away from that. We need, to be honest, fix our rides. A lot of them are falling apart. A lot of them are not ADA compliant because they were grandfathered in. We need to start internally a little bit, and as well work on our culture inside the company, and then move on to reassessing land in terms of what is working and what ain't. Because there's a couple of resorts that I feel like, and to be honest, one big complex, might I say, that ain't doing much. Specifically, ESPN Complex.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there. we honestly, when the NBA playoffs came for it, it was a godsend for, I feel like, that place, because it is rarely used except for cheerleading events and Little League events.
Well, and now that the Braves are not...
And now the Braves aren't doing their practices there anymore. So
spring training, yeah.
It's literally just sitting there. Mm-hmm. So, might I propose, if you are going to open a fifth gate, that's got the land.
Really?
That has it. That has the land for it.
Okay.
We have the parking lot space.
Uh-huh.
We have the land itself can be expanded even farther. Mm-hmm. There's enough land there.
I also want to mention real quick the fact that, there's that Flamingo Crossing shopping area that, like a second Disney Springs, that they've been talking about for a while.
Yep.
That was not mentioned at all.
Yeah, that also wasn't mentioned in Disney's. And another thing that I also want to bring up too, no nighttime parade.
Yeah.
For another year in a row.
I keep getting asked that every day.
As Disney cast members, as you've said, I'm continually asked, is there a nighttime parade? Is there a nighttime parade? I'm at least asked that once a day, minimum. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves them. Mm-hmm. I love them.
I do too.
I genuinely thought that we were going to get one for the 50th, even if it was going to be still the Main Street Electrical.
Sure.
I thought that maybe that was going to come for our 50th.
Sure.
Didn't come. Mm-hmm. Went to Disneyland twice. Mm-hmm. Twice.
Mm-hmm. I think also it's one of those, they cater to Disneyland a lot, which I totally get it.
It's Walt's park.
It's Walt's baby. Yeah.
It's Walt's park.
But this is our moneymaker. Walt Disney World's moneymaker.
And that's what it's being treated as. And that, I feel like, at the end of the day, because to be honest, you just put it eloquently, Disney World is the moneymaker, so they don't want to touch anything. Mm-hmm. And if things go down, they freak out, try to slap some duct tape on it, and get it going again. Mm-hmm. We are making Band-Aid decisions with Titanic-sized gashes. We need to start doing better as a company for Walt Disney World. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, that comes down to budgeting. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, that comes down to Josh D'Amaro, mm-hmm. who on the outside looks like a really wonderful guy, but at the same time, I'm a little bit concerned about what is his decisions and what is Chapek's decisions. Mm-hmm.
Lightning
and
Lane.
Either way, a lot of them haven't been great.
Lightning Lane's the nightmare.
That one was Chapek's baby, so mm-hmm. I will say Chapek is the one to, if you have blame or praise for Genie Plus, that's who you should direct it at. There are positives and negatives to both sides of Genie Plus. But ultimately, it comes down to budgeting, which goes to Josh D'Amaro, which then his budgets have to be approved by Bob Chapek. Mm-hmm. So Josh D'Amaro can put a whole bunch of budget to fixing Magic Kingdom, but Chapek can still say no. Mm-hmm. So
it's just,
ultimately, it comes down to leadership and budget.
Yep.
And Disney executives need to kind of get their stuff together and stop treating Disney World as a moneymaker and start treating it as a proper source of family entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's our D23.
On that sad note. Yeah. So overall, again, we thought... Mitch, what did you overall think again, just kind of this D23?
D23, I'm going to say it needs to cook a little bit more.
Yeah.
The films ate it up. Okay. Games, I'm feeding to the dog because I only got one.
There really wasn't much. Yeah.
The parks, I'm going to say it was on the cusp of eating it up, but the fact that there were still some things that weren't announced, some things I wanted that didn't get announced, and there's some places that they're trying to go, I just don't know. I'm going to say for that, I also think it needs to cook a little more. Mm-hmm. So D23, as it's a good step forward after not having it for 3 years, but on the whole, it needed to cook a little bit more.
Sure. And for me, I feel like D23, again, I agree with you. I feel like D23 actually needs to cook a little more. I feel like it was a step in the right direction, but still a missed opportunity. Their film studios, they've been our oldest thing. They're working at full force. They be good. I eat up just as you said.
Yep. It's 100. They got the logo, Disney 100.
I'm fine. I'm 100% with them on that. The games, whatever. It's new. It's his first time. Fine. Yep. You missed the mark. Whatever. Who knows? Second time's the charm. The parks.
Not much else can be said.
Really not. And to be honest, Disney, you're lucky about this. I'm actually going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I think you need to cook a lot. There's a lot of cooking that needs to be done. I'm not going to feed it to the dog just yet, but that's because I'm going to say you're being fed to Universal. You are. You're about to be eaten by Universal alive. And you're going to feel it. You're going to feel every single bite and chew.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I guarantee you that. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Chapek? You're about to be. Because we're going to feel it for the next at least 5 to 10 years. So get cooking is what I'll finish off with. But if you like the content that we were kind of talking about here and you want to hear more about those kind of things, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com. Saying what you like, what you didn't. We got a lot
of stuff coming.
We got a lot of stuff coming, like we said, down the pipeline. So we can't wait to move forward with it a whole bunch. But until that time, I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.